All right. So we are back. First episode of this new series with the one and only Marco Marandola. Did I say that right?
Perfect.
Marandola.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we also have Monsieur François with us. Always a pleasure.
How are you?
So I'm doing phenomenal. As always, I just have my Nutella. So, so we're talking here about the advantage of buying a condo on a plan. So, Marco, if you want to walk us through it, basically, I know there's many different ways of seeing this, whether it's on the mortgage side or really just the way of approaching it, or the steps, the delays, and so on. So, if you could explain to us, basically, first of all, what it means to buy on a plan, and then the advantages that would come out of it,
Yeah,
in
sure.
your opinion.
So welcome to having me this morning. First, buying of plan. Yes, obviously there's always advantages to buy a condo on plan. It all depends on the situation of the clients. So some clients, if they want, let's say, to move in right away, but it's not for them to buy on plans. But somebody that would like, let's say, to invest, or somebody that wants to move in, let's say, in a year and a half, a year from now, yes, it can be like a good options for them to look to buy on plans. Why people to look at buy on plan? First, some people obviously there's always the attraction to buy something new. Obviously, when you buy new, you can, let's say, personalize your condo. You can customize your condo the way you like. You can choose the color. You can choose, the cupboards. You can do the countertop. I mean, you can choose whatever you decide, the color and everything. So it's always like for them, customize it. Most of the time it's the reason why they're doing it. Also, by buying new, you don't have to renovate the condo, because obviously if you buy already something like on the market, something like it's already exists and exists a condo, so you have to sometimes to maybe borrow more money just to renovate a condo, to change it, let's say the kitchen, the bathroom, because usually kitchen and bathroom is what it gives them more, let's say, more value to a property. But if you buy new, but you don't need to do that for at least the next 10, 15 years, because you're buying new. Other reason why, also, it's the price. So when you buy, especially beginning of a project, let's say the first phase or the first building, depending, because all depends on so many phases you have in the project. Some project maybe have one building, but then you have to be there before the launch. I mean, obviously, if you're connected with mortgage real estate brokers, if you can be invited, let's say, to one of these launched, so that's a big advantage. That being said, if you have it's another type of project with the multi-phases project, but then obviously phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, you have to be there at the beginning if you want to buy as an investor. If you want to buy to, let's say, move in, there again, still buy as an investor, because you're always going to benefit of the plus value over time. As an example, if you have, just to say that I'm working on the project, the Crown project in Hansik, it's a multi-phases project, so you have 6 phases. Now the phase 1 is sold out, but the delivery is at the end of the year, so the December 2022. Then you have phase 2, which is a bit later on, which is the beginning of 2023, and you have phase 3, like the end of 2023. So somebody that obviously buy phase 3, if he buys now, he probably buying as to invest, compared to somebody that would buy phase 1. But phase 1, like I said, sold out, but just as an example, because an investor wouldn't buy a condo that the delivery date is that close, because obviously the plus value of the condo you acquired like over time. So further is the delivery date, better chances you have, you can get plus value on the condo.
Also, I would reiterate the fact that he won't have to pay any mortgage or anything like that if he's using it as an investment. So if his delivery is a lot further, then he's looking at the opportunity of the value of the property going up during that period.
Yes, and not only that, I mean, the buyers that want to buy, let's say, as if you take the same project as an example of phase 3 later on, but you have the flexibility to plan let's say, your down payment, because you give a down payment, let's say now when you sign the contract, let's say 5%. You have another 5% in a year to give, and maybe the remaining balance when you pass the notary. So you have like a year and a half to plan your down payment. If you buy something like right now in the market, you need that 15, 20% in your pocket right now. So it's not everybody that have, that kind of money.
Yeah.
So then sometimes you can afford only 5%, and then you have to pay the CMHC premium. Everything's more expensive, obviously, if you have a bit less money. But if you buy on plan, you can organize yourself, you can plan, you can even have somebody, maybe, I don't know, a family member, father, brother, to co-sign with you to help you, let's say, to have the full.
I would also agree that when you're buying new, the advantage that you have from buying an old condo is that if they have like common rooms or places that need to be renovated, if the roof needs to be redone, you would have to fork out that money, even though you just bought a condo that's used. As if you have a new condo, you still got the warranty and all that stuff that's right away. So the costs are a lot less.
True. Also, a lot of, I don't want to generalize that, but I know that some condo project was in the past. The management was, the people that already have the mentality that they want to pay the less condo fees as possible. But it's not the good way to think, because less condo fees you're paying, that means there's less money, in the funds. Let's say if any emergency happen, let's say if you have to fix the roof, change the windows, the balconies. So that means, anytime, the syndicate, they can, call, the co-owners to inject more money, for the condo fees. So at the end of the day, you probably not saving anything, because you will have, and eventually maybe to Deschamps an extra $5,000, $10,000, just to fix problems that you were probably not aware when you first bought the condo. No?
Definitely. So we have, I'm just going to clarify something for Steve Thackert. I was asking, he was a bit lost on the discussion. He came in halfway. He was asking what kind of plan, like a mortgage plan. So we just want to clarify that it's really buying a condo from the stage of it's still in the plan, right?
Yes, that's it. When you say buying on plan, is technically nothing is built. Okay, so the promoter is introducing you the project on plan, which is on paper. Well, we said on plan, it's on paper. Yeah. Or sometimes, you have the display, let's say, at the sales office, and you decide to buy, let's say, whatever, you choose the plan you want. You want a 2-bedroom, 3 bedrooms, 2-bedroom with 2 bathrooms, 1 bedroom, let's say, with a mezzanine, not mezzanine, but can be kind of a mezzanine, but let's say sometimes it's also a den. So that's what you decide. Then you decide basically the size of the condo you want. Also the square footage, what you want. Basically, that's what it is. People, they'll buy a square footage because let's say some clients, they like, it's a big space, but they don't need 3 bedrooms. So they can, let's say, customize it to remove 1 room and to have, let's say, a big 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms instead to have maybe like a smaller one. So yes, that's it. Just to be precise, it's when you say buying on plan, is buying literally because there's nothing built. In the old days, people were going around and to visit, let's say, homes or condo because they were already built. And now it's not like that anymore. It's a new
world. No. We're gonna take a quick 30 seconds, guys. We're gonna be talking about our Crown project. So Mallard Group is also in new construction. So our most recent project is called the Crown Condominiums. We're gonna show you a quick video with more information, and we'll be right back with you. So we are back while Mikey is going to take some Tic Tacs. So we have a question here that came in from Michelle here that's asking, what would be your most precious advice for a first buyer who wants to buy a condo on a plan?
But first, first and foremost, I think it's important to know from who you're buying from, because obviously you have different projects in Montreal, and you have different projects all around Montreal. You have Hansik, you have not to mention the Eastern Montreal, Saint Leonard, you have West Island. So first, you have to make sure that the sector that you're looking on the borough that you want to buy, that's a place you want to move in, to live in. Then also you have to do your due diligence about who's building, maybe if they built other projects in the past, and also to look because I know that when you have a builder build on new, they have what the guarantee for a new home. So you can also contact, let's say, the insurance company to see if there was any claim in the past against the builders. That gives you also a good idea of the quality of the constructions. So that would the first step I would do is just to inquire about who's building, and also obviously the area. And also most important thing also is the budget. I mean, what's your budget? Because if you want to buy, let's say, I don't know, if you have a budget, let's say $500,000, obviously you don't, and you have a family of, you have 2 kids, you don't buy in Griffintown. There's always, depending on the area, there's a market. Yeah. So maybe you go a bit outside, like downtown. You maybe like Hansik, maybe like West Island, which is more like family oriented, and also you look at the budget, because the budget is very important too. I mean, especially now. I mean, the rate are getting up. I mean, getting high. So
just got a new announcement, just today.
Yes, now you announced this morning the variable rate going up by 0.50.
Yeah.
So
yay us.
Sorry?
Yay to us.
So I have a quick question. We're able to do upgrades, I would assume, compared to what the standard is offered at the condo?
Yes. I mean, basically, the way it works usually, when you buy a condo, the price they give you, it's with, the finishing is the standard, which is still good. But if the clients want, some builders, they offer you to upgrade. You can upgrade, let's say, the floor, the countertop. You can upgrade the cupboards,
the lights,
and also the plumbing. Also, you can upgrade. So, but depending on the project, depending on the builders, yes, there's big possibility to improve the condo.
And I guess just a question: the garage, the parking space that comes with it, is there a garage or is there outside parking? Or
but usually all depends, because some builders they make you a big price with all included. Some they will give you a price of the condo unit, and then you have to buy the locker. And usually it's a locker and garage separate, and then you buy the unit.
So they're different cadastres, meaning that they could be sold separately also when you sell the unit?
Yes, but you have to be careful because you have to respect the declaration of ownership. Usually, if you're no longer an owner of let's say, a private unit, you cannot keep the garage usually. Okay, so that's why. So usually, if you sell your condo, you're going to sell the garage as well. But if you have 2 units in the same project, and you want to keep a garage, only sell one of the units, yes, that you can do because you still own one of the private.
So units. Mike is taking a lot of notes. He's clearly about to buy into it. So we appreciate the questions. We have Angel actually on LinkedIn asking a very pertinent question. She's saying, how do you find these projects usually?
Oh, I mean, you have different... you have the Condo Montreal, basically. You have different, also the people, usually, sometimes they drive around. I mean, if they like, let's say, to live in Saint Leonard, obviously they're aware of the project in Saint Leonard. If they like to live in West Island, but they're going to be aware of all the project in the West Island. Okay. So you go around, obviously, on the internet. Like real estate brokers are well connected also, because most of the time they are invited to different lunch that they have, let's say, depending on the project. And Condo Montreal, Condo Accès, Guide de Condo, something like that. I don't have the full name. They have a guide. All the projects are listed in the guide, all the condo project.
Perfect. We have another question here coming in from Just Tremblay. Maybe off topic, but how did you get involved into mortgages?
Oh, but I had my license since 2005. So
What was the background? What did Marco used to be?
I mean, 2000 first. In the past, I was involved in the labor relations. I have a lot. I have a lot.
There you go. I don't know why you keep this as a secret. It's I would brag about it daily.
No. But the thing is, because I mean, I go back. I go way back in the sense that in the 90s, I got I graduated from law school. But I never really was like I never practiced as a lawyer. But I was mostly involved with organization, doing labor relation, human resources. Then I graduated as a notary. I was a notary maybe for 8 years, more or less. And basically, I had my license in real estate before I became a notary. So that's 16 years, 17 years. I have my license in real estate.
Oh, so you had the license even before law school?
Yeah. No. Law school. I went to law school in the 90s. So
Okay.
I won't give you my age now. But
the hair says it all.
Gray hair says it all. But just to say it all. And 2005, I became a notary. 2008, 2009. And the mortgages. I mean, I created my own agency in 2014. It was like independent, mortgage and real estate agency, and I bought a franchise that then ending in 2020 with Etienne, and he's also go on with me.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since, I mean, I would say full mortgages, full pledge. I would say probably a good 4 or 5 years.
Nice, perfect. Thank you.
Well,
any mortgage related question while we have our
I got
superstar
plenty
here?
Mortgage related questions.
One.
Actually.
I want one. Just give me one.
What I wanted to know, in your opinion, somebody that decides to, invest, either looking at it in terms of investment, maybe buying many condos or whatever the case is, should that person do that under a company or should they do it under their personal name?
That's a good question. Okay, because if you buy personal, okay, usually when you have too many properties under your name, sooner or later you're going to be blocked at the credit bureau, okay, because everything goes in your credit bureau when you buy personal. And then after that, you're limited by number of doors you can own. Certain bank, they will allow you to have 5, certain can allow you to 4. So then at one point it becomes very hard to grow, let's say, your business. If you buy, let's say, under a company, it's always possible to buy to a company, but obviously some lenders are very reluctant to finance a company. They will do it, let's say, with the holding company, but very few banks are doing it. So it's possible to buy under a company. But I mean, the only thing is, I would say, is if somebody that's planning to grow, let's say, to buy a lot of real estate, to plan maybe to have an incorporation and to grow through a company, because at one point it will affect your credit bureau, and you won't be able to buy after a certain amount of doors. You won't be able to buy under your personal.
But the reason why I ask is because if banks are already reluctant, then how are you supposed to get started? Because I mean, if you have an incorporation that's brand new today, and you're saying, okay, well, you know what, I'm starting this business, I'm going to start buying real estate, I want to put it under the umbrella. How do I get started?
But when I say reluctant, it's just that you won't have, when you're buying under your name, you buy your home, all the banks are there. I mean, any banks, obviously, depending on your profile, well, you have access to all the banks. When you buy it through a company, you have banks that will do it, but much less. I mean, you have certain banks that will allow you. Certain banks, they just allow, let's say, if it's a holding company. And sometimes, they will do it, let's say, on the commercial side. Obviously, the rate is different. The conditions are different. Because some people, they want to buy, let's say, through a company. They have many doors, and they expect to have the same condition if they buy personal. That's different. It's different. Okay. But yes, it's a possibility.
But does the company need to have a history for that?
No.
That? Okay.
No, because at the beginning, what they'll do is they qualify you.
Okay.
So they go with they qualify you as the individual, and then obviously, what assets you're going to acquire through the company, then at one point, the company will be self-sufficient. At the beginning, when you first start, it will qualify you as
Okay.
an individual first.
So we have one last question here to conclude from Louis that says, what are the builders or developers that you would recommend? So trusted names, in your opinion. Do you have any? Or that's a very touchy question.
And I cannot. I mean, obviously, I cannot give names, but like I mentioned before, there's a way to find out. I mean, you have. I mean, it's a small world. And builders, a very small world. They know each other. But the first thing I will do is to contact, let's say the insurer, like I mentioned before, the guarantee from your home. You have ACQ, you have Med Bâtisseur. So if you call these people and they have a register, then you can look at the complaints. You look at, usually they have records in a sense that it's a bit like awards. Every builder, sometimes, I don't know when exactly to do it, a bit like in real estate, they have certain recognition. So you have to look at that too, for certain builders. Also longevity, how long the builders have been in business. So obviously you're dealing with a builder that nobody have a clue. And then, because sometimes, you have some guys, they create a company, then after that the company disappeared, and then they open another company. That gives you a bit an idea of the type of management they're doing. So if you have somebody that been building for like 20 years, 30 years, good reputation. Also, if you look at you have the same client, it's a project to projects, the same clients are buying the project. That's also a very good indicator, because your clients always are your best ambassador. So if you have let's say you built a project like 10, 15 years ago, and today you still have the same builder investors that come to invest in your project, I think that's one of the best.
But what's the major difference between a promoter and a subcontracting company that will actually build the project? Because there's stories of promoters that would promote the actual project, but then it would be another company that would do the building, and then that company would leave, and then some other company would be there on the next project that they're promoting, but they're not directly related to the actual project itself. Is that something for us to look out for?
But obviously, that's a field that I'm going to speak what I know. Obviously, I'm not a specialist in what I know is that usually a promoter usually do not have the RBQ license. So basically, they're going to hire a subcontractor or a builder, and the builder will build for the promoter. So a lot of time it's the same individual. The promoter is also can be the builder, because if they build for themselves. So obviously the promoter and the builder are the same person. But you can have a promoter that has, maybe he has the land, maybe he has a project, and he needs a builder obviously to build it. So obviously he's going to hire the builder, and the builder will take care of the subcontract, whatever the job. He has the RBQ license, and obviously that's the reason why the promoter usually going to use like builders, because they need the RBQ license.
Amazing. On this note, gentlemen, Marco, thank you so much for this first of many episodes of this new series. Mike, thanks for participating. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you all